How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It's time to get creative again. It's time to get imaginative. It's time to get inspired. And for today's inspiration, I have the wonderful Arnold Lobel. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He did the amazing Frog and Toad and Wind in the Willows children's books. He did all the illustrations and the writing behind them as well. And if you're not familiar, definitely check them out. They have so much character, and they were really imaginative at the time. These books came out years and years ago, so there's a lot of stuff that is kind of been spin-offs or different variations of these kind of things. But when they came out, the idea of these two little frog and toad friends was just great, and I love the illustrations. I think they're very very cute. They have such a nice warm feel to them. The style and the color choices and the posing and just the little worlds that they live in really come to life. And I'm such a fan of his work. He's a great illustrator. So anyways, let's check out a couple of things that let me find a good illustration to leave you off on while I read here. There we go. Okay, a couple of quotes that I grabbed from him. My reason for that isn't all intellectual, and this is talking about why he chose to do more of like a mix of human and animal. And he said it's a way of creating something that seems new. It's a very practical thing to do. And he went on to talk about how just trying to do a variation of something. You don't have to recreate the wheel, but you could add spikes to your wheel, or you could add a rubber tire to the wheel, or just reiterate and do a different version of something that's familiar, but add your own uniqueness to it, or something that's innately you to it, and make it new. And then another one that I found was I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm continually dissatisfied. I make a religion of being dissatisfied. I don't think there's a point in doing a book and saying, isn't that wonderful? And then you don't learn. When people ask, what's your best book you ever did? There's no point in saying, oh, that was 4 years ago. That means everything since was worse, right? So I say it's the next book. Then, even though I've done the best book I think I can do, I know the book that I'm going to do might be even better. It's all delusion, but it keeps one trying one's best. I think that's a great way to stay fresh, to stay new, to stay positive, to stay motivated, is have not a negative feeling about your work, but just a continual dissatisfaction where you're like, you know what, that was good, that was great, but I think I can do better. I think I could have more potential to do more and to continue to create, and that your best work is just that next piece that you're going to hit. That's what's going to be. And if you continually have that mindset, you're going to continue to push yourself and to try harder and to never be satisfied with just where you are. All right, so that being said, let's get into today's animation, and I will definitely throw a bunch of links to his stuff down in the information below. And really, I urge you guys to check it out, even if you're, not into children's books or whatever. I think he has some great character and some great posing and some great worlds, and is just a creative person. And I'm guessing, since you're watching this, that you guys are all amazingly creative. Take a look at his stuff. It's really inventive, and it's just pleasant to look at. I enjoy it. Okay. So that being said, let's get into today's animation. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be animating a paper bag. That's right, a paper bag. And you think, can we really make that fun? Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's see all the fun. I've never used this rig before. It's a free rig. You can grab it from Creative Crash. I will link it in the information below. And we will be using Maya 2014 today to do our animation with, which I will also have a link in the information below. Okay, so if you're new to the series, just a quick elevator pitch. Give ourselves 48 frames, about an hour, brand new rig we've never used before, and see what we can come up with. Alright, so let's get started then. Let's try and find an interesting starting pose here. Now, I did already save my file, so don't forget to do that. And let's go ahead and turn our textures off by hitting 5 on our keyboard. Excuse me, got a grouchy stomach today. Let's do a little bit of X there. See if we can give it kind of a little bit of a paunch, maybe. And pull this down here. center curve. And let's go ahead and push this one forward. Pull that back here. Let's do a little bit of rotate Y, so it's got to rotate out. And a little bit of rotate out there. And maybe we'll pull this forward a little bit. And pull that back a little bit. Alright, so let's get started then. Let's go ahead and grab everything. Go to frame 1. Actually, let's switch that to frame 0. And let's set our first key there. And let's get started. So let's see, is this going to be able to move? That's just going to be there. So what are we going to have to move here? This will move just the head. Just grab everything here. We'll pull it forward. Go to frame 12. We'll pull that forward. We'll grab this foot. And we'll pull that forward. So let's see. That feels okay. Let's grab this one and set it at 12. And let's go to 24. Set up that next step here. And we want to grab everything here. And pull that forward again. Too far here. Getting some deformation there. Just leave it for now. We'll go back in and clean it up a little bit more. I'm just trying to get the foundational movements, which are just going to be the steps and the hips, but since the hips are kind of a little bit blended here, I want to pull that forward. Pull that forward. And let's set that and move that forward here. And pull that forward. And again, we'll have to clean a lot of this up. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull that back. Pull that forward. Pull that back. And pull it back forward. And let's pull that back a little bit as well. And want that to go forward. That to go back. That to go forward. Not so far. Not to go back. Let's try approaching this in a different way. So let's just delete everything we have so far, except for that first pose. So we're getting some deformation that I don't like. So let's try doing it just with the root here. Okay, so I got here, and we know we want it to go to 40 root. So just go ahead and do that. this will mean our steps are going to be a little bit more difficult to nail down here. Set that. Okay, I think we have it translating a little bit too far, so let's scale that back down. Okay, let's go back to and before. So what's causing that? Let's see if we can maybe take all the translates and see if we can. Sometimes if you get too far away from the center, that'll do it. So we'll see if we can get that. So let's grab all the translates here. Let's go ahead and just pull them back here. Yeah, because it's just that deformation as we get away from here. See? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it the other way. Okay. So let's delete all that. And that's okay. We can do that. And move it forward just a little bit like that. We just gotta be aware of some slippage on the feet here. So push it forward, and we'll pull it back, push it forward. So actually what we'll do is we'll just get rid of that and we'll just keep it all here. Do more of a cycle than traditional. How we do it, and that's okay. So let's see here. We'll do a little bit of, let's see here. We'll raise that up, get that passing position. And set that, and raise that up. So let's see. Let's get the other side here. And again, this is more of a cycle than really how I typically approach things. I usually like to do it the other way, but that's okay. That's what to know. Okay, now let's grab, where's the center here? Let's raise everything up. add some weight here. Up and down. Let's go and watch that. And let's clean up that curve a little bit more. So we're just gonna even these out a little bit more, and then I think we'll offset some stuff and delay some stuff so that it's not all hitting at the same time. I think we'll wait for doing that just for now. I don't want to put the weight over that foot. So let's grab both of those and we'll put it over here, and then over here, and over here, and over here, and then back to 0. So it's going to watch them. And let's lower that a little bit more. Now let's do these guys. So this one we want back here. Don't want to do both, just want to. I'm going to use these like arms. There. I'll move it forward. I'll move it back. I'll move it forward. And I'll move it back. Just take what we have there. Let's clean up that curve here. Just so it's pretty similar, and then we mimic that last key, so it should cycle pretty well. Let's see here. Let's go into the other side here. So we've got it forward to start with, and let's put it back here. Pull it back forward, and back, and put it back forward. So let's see. And let's undo the rotate X on here for now. Let's just zero it out here. See if we can't get a little better. Let's switch up when these go up and down. Let's see here. And then let's go ahead and pull the arms down a little bit. Just overall. Do something like that. Maybe we'll delay it 2 frames. Now let's go here. Let's do a little rotate Z there. Rotate Z there. Rotate Z there. Rotate Z there. And then zero it back out. So let's see here. little too much, so I'll scale it back here. Let's do a little bit of rotate Y to favor that front planted step. The other way, the other way, the other way, and the other way. And let's see. Let's tone that down a little bit more. And then let's go ahead and play with the up and down on those things as well. So it can go. Just so there's a little bit of side to side on there as well. And let's do a little bit less of that. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and save what we have now. Let's do a little more on those feet here. So let's go ahead and rotate them. Let's see. Just want to do something to accentuate those step ups. So let's see here. Maybe we'll drag it back. Flop it down. Let's see. Might be a little too much. But I still want a little bit of that. And then let's see where there we go. So that way it feels like there's a step, a little bit of drag, and then flop. Yeah, that'll work. Feels like there's a little bit of weight then if we do that. Okay, so let's rotate that back, rotate that forward, lift it up, give us 2 frames, 0 that out, and 0 that out. Let's see. And this is more like what you would do for a video game rather than like a production, because you get a little bit of that slip with the foot that I don't really like, but it would allow you to be able to take, let's say this is the main controller here, and then we're moving it around like while you're hitting your keys, and the walk would still be going through. So it's a little bit of a different approach, but hopefully if we tweak it enough we'll still get something that it's a little bit better. We'll zero that out, zero that out, get that plant, and rotate that back. Now we're getting a little bit of a slam down because we're just doing it in one key, so I think I'm gonna minimize what we have there, even though I think that works just fine. We don't want it to hit so hard in the cycle as it loops, and that will still get that little bit of weight there. Maybe we could even do a little bit more. Lift it up a little more. For some reason I feel like maybe that should be a little bit lower. Let's see here. Let's see here. Feels a little better. Now let's do a little more up and down on those arms there. Let's see here. Okay, let's go save what we have here. And I think there's some cool controllers that we might be able to get a little bit out of here. Zero that out. Guess not. I think that might be way too much. Let's see if we can't get it to work a little bit. Zero it out. Do a little bit here. And zero it out. Do a little bit here. And zero. Again, we're gonna go back and definitely tweak all of this stuff because this seems way over exaggerated. Let's see if we can't. Okay, way too much squash and stretch. We just wanted a little teeny bit of that. So maybe let's do a little bit of more squash. We're doing some stretch there, but not very much for the squash. The only thing with that is I think it lifts it up off of there. Okay, I can't do that then. So let's just do just a titch. Now let's delay it like 2 frames. See if I could get a better line throughout that. What if I get rid of the rotate Y? See if that will give me a cleaner line here. 0 to. No, that's not going to do it. Okay. Maybe we'll just have to deal with that a little bit. It's okay from like a 3/4 angle. Could we do the refund with this? Get our translate Y's up a little bit more, so each of those steps would be a little bit bigger. Could be fun. Just finding other ways we can tweak this. I feel like the basic idea is there a little bit more. I feel like all of this stuff we could probably squash down the translate Y's a little bit more. It's a little too over. Maybe that's because of that squash and stretch that we put in here. It's just a little too much. Let's see. Maybe we could do a little bit of maybe some rotate here in the arms. Okay. Just to get some better lines throughout that, some more flowing movement. So there's a nice arc through there. Just make it look a little nicer. If we can get that to look good in the movement, I think the angles will be a little bit cleaner than looking so ripply. Let's see here. Yeah, that feels a little better. Let's go here. Do that. That. That feels better. Let's zero it out again. So let's see here. And then what if we did a little bit of over the side? So that should be like what? And over to the side over here. Over there. Over here. And then we'll go back to 0. Just so there's a little bit of side-to-side movement there. Yeah. Let's clean that up a little bit. Let's go. What's that now? Okay, let's go and save what we have, and let's see if we can't just do a little bit of rotate X in here. rest of that middle section. If we did a little bit of bounce in there. Just a little bit. Let's zero that out there. Let's go and watch that now. Yeah, I feel like that's working pretty good. Alright. So let me know down in the comments below if you like this one. If you guys end up using this rig, definitely share back on the amazing stuff that you guys made. If you would have approached things differently, if you like certain approaches, we kind of mixed it up, did a little bit different, did more of a cycle this time than a straightforward, more of like a movie style walk. But I think that worked well for this rig. You gotta sometimes adapt to different stuff. And I think we did that pretty well. So let's go ahead and take a look back at where we started with today's inspiration. And this was, again, Arnold Lobel. He's the guy who did the amazing frog and toad stuff. Let's tweak our shot over here so we got it paneled in nicely so we can watch that. And my reason for that isn't all intellectual. It's a way of creating something that seems new. It's a very practical thing to do. So I urge you guys, as you are working today and coming up and creating new ideas and everything, to do something that's a little bit different, a little bit new, and use a little bit of yourself and your own experiences in there as well. And you know, I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm continually dissatisfied. I make a religion of being dissatisfied. I don't think there's a point in doing a book and saying, isn't that wonderful? And you don't learn. When people ask, what's the best book you ever did? There's no point in saying, oh, that was 4 years ago. That means everything since was worse, right? So I say it's the next book. Then, you know, even though I've done the best book I think I can do, I know the book I'm going to do next might be even better. It's all delusion, but it keeps one trying one's best. So I urge you guys to adapt that religion of being dissatisfied with your work. And does that mean that you're not, you know, happy that you did it or that you put yourself into it and everything, but just to continually have that mentality of, you know, I could have done this better. I could have pushed this further. I could have, you know, tried this other thing. I could have put a little more effort into it. And that way you approach the next thing that you're going to work on with that sense of, you know, I'm going to make this better than anything I've done before. And that being said, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching and all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate you guys. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you do, don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more animation.